Okay, good evening student. Today we are going to start the 6th unit, prose, on the rule of the road. It was written by A.J. Gardiner. Before going to the lesson, see the author introduction. About the author, the full name of the A.J. Gardiner, Alfred George Gardiner, was a British journalist and author. The full name of the A.J. Gardiner is Alfred George Gardiner. He was a British journalist and also the British author. He was a prolific essayist, and his style and subject matter easily qualified him to be categorized as what the English would call a very civilized gentleman. Actually, he's the best essayist, and also his style and subject matter easily qualified him because what the English expect from the author, like that, he was writing his writing career was like a civilized in the categorized in the English world. Okay, his essays include on habits, on being tidy, and on talk and talkers. These are the Alfred George Gardiner's essays. And the rule of the road was included in one of the Gardiner's complexion title Lives in the Wind. And actually the real name of the uh, actually the on the rule of the road is a part of the Lives in the Wind. It is the main name of the Lives in the Wind. It is a part for the on the rule of the road, and also was published under his pseudonym Half of the Plug. So Half of the Plug is nothing, is the nickname. It means we call in Tamil Punai Payar. It's called the pseudonym, the Alpha of Plug. Alpha of Plug is the nickname for Lives in the Wind. It is a part of the on the rule of the road. Here we are going to see the on the rule of the road. Just see the lesson. Okay, a south old lady was walking with her basket down the middle of a street in Petrograd, to the great confusion of the traffic and with no small thrill to herself. Actually, a south old lady, it means it's nothing. A fat old lady was walking with her basket down in the middle of a street. Middle of the street is nothing. Center part of the street. The street was in the Petrograd. Petrograd is nothing. It's a place. It was making some great confusion of the travelers. It means those who are driving the vehicles like car, bike, everything of the traffic, and the no small thrills to herself, but she is not take any risk while walking in the middle of the street. It was pointed out to her that the pavement was the place for pedestrian, but she replied, I am going to walk where I like. Actually, other people, the publics were pointed out to the lady. Actually, the walking place is the separate for every person. Pedestrian is nothing. Those who are walking in the roadway, it's called the pedestrian. But she is replied. But she simply replied, "I am going to walk where I like." Whatever everyone told to the lady, she replied simply, she wished to walk anywhere because she had so much of liberty in the world, like that. She simply replied, we have got liberty now. She told, everyone got liberty. Liberty is nothing, freedom. It did not occur to the dear old lady that if liberty entitled the pedestrian to walk down the middle of the road, then the end of such liberty would be a universal chaos. Okay. He did not, actually the old lady did not remind that if the liberty entitled the pedestrian is nothing, those who are walking in the road, in the separate, in the public road, down the middle of the road, then the end of the such, while walking the like that, the lady walking in the road, in the middle of the road, for everything in the end of such liberty would be a universal chaos. Universal chaos is nothing, old confusion. It was making to confusion for everyone, not only for the individual person. For old level it means for public, like that they given. Everybody would be getting an in everybody else way, and nobody would get anywhere. If every individual going to involve in everyone's work, it will not going to happen in a good way. It was going to be disturb the every person, like that given here. Individual liberty would have become social anarchy. It means if you are taking every person individually taking the freedom, definitely it is going to be a social anarchy. Social anarchy is nothing, it is don't have any law. It's a anarchy is a lawlessness. There is a danger of the world getting liberty drunk in these days, like the old lady with the basket. In case if every person are going to use their liberty freedom, it will going to, nowadays they are taking the liberty like a drunk persons. In these days, like the old lady is taking, just simply he take, she had so much of liberty like that. And it is just as well as to remind ourselves what the rule of the road means. Actually every individual want to be know about the what is the rule of the road means. Then only they can easily walk or cross the road and to get without any disturbance for everyone. So everyone want to know about the rule of the road. It means that in order that the liberties of all may be preserved, the liberties of everybody must be curtailed. So every person have the liberty. So every person want to be use the liberty with maintaining the liberty, and everybody must be curtailed. Curtail is nothing, reduced. So everyone have the liberty, it must be used little bit. So don't use the liberties with lot, because don't disturb to others. uh, Directly we say that don't be disturb the public, like that given in the sentence. When the policeman say at the Piccadilly Circle steps into the middle of the road and puts out his hand, he is a symbol not of tyranny but of liberty. So here the author given the one example. While the policeman is ruling the public in the Piccadilly Circle. Piccadilly Circle is nothing. It's the main circle in the London city. It was joined, six roads were joined in a circle. While the time at the time the policeman is directing the persons, they are they are come forward and to step into the middle of the road and puts his hand. Its hand is nothing, just showing their hand to making the direction. He is the symbol. Actually he is using their liberty, is not a tyranny. Tyranny is nothing, autocracy, but of liberty. Just he is controlling the person to direct the person, public, to the good way. You may not think so, but this is not think this is a tyranny, like that. Don't think like that, the author told here. You may being in a hurry and seeing your car pulled by his insolence of office, feel that your liberty has been outraged. It means while you are going to very fast for your work, at the time the police find out and the police um, pick your car and pull it out in rudely of the police officer. But the time you are feeling the police officer going to stop your liberty, but you want to be think that time, you told that how dare this fellow interfere with your free use of the public highway. At the time you simply ask to everyone or every person, simply you are asking how the person, how the police, how much have dare, how dare this policeman going to involve with your free of using the highway with freedomly. But actually you want to be think that time, then you are a reasonable person. If you are a truthful person, you want to be think at that moment, you will reflect, you want to be remember that if he did not interfere with you, he would interfere with no one. Actually, if you are not interfere with the police, it means in the public, definitely the policeman did not going to interfere with you, because you only the interfere with the public, because you are going very fast. At that moment the police going to seize your car. So if you are not going with not going to interfere with any other person, definitely the police will not be interfered with you, like that given. And the result would be the Piccadilly Circle would be a milestone that you would never cross at all. If the policeman definitely um, did not follow the did not control the public, if the public did not cross the circle, it is was very difficult. Milestone is nothing, very difficult situation will occur in the place. So the police is doing their work in a correct way. You have submitted to a curtailment of private liberty in order that you may enjoy a social order which makes your liberty a reality. If you are going to use your liberty in a reduce, it means you are using in a correct way in a private liberty. At that time you enjoy the social order in the social liberty. If you are using your liberty, it must be a reduced, it must be reasonable liberty, then only you can enjoy the social liberty. If you are using your own wisdom with the liberty, it does not going to the in a good way. So everyone make your liberty with the reality also, like that given in the sentence. Liberty is not a personal affairs only, but a social contract. Actually, liberty is not a individual affairs, but it is a social contract. It means for every person have the liberty, not for individual one. So it is a liberty is not a individual liberty. It has a social liberty. It is an accommodation of interest, and also everyone, so every person want to be show this interest, because everyone have the to know the real thing. So every individual person have the liberty, not only for a single person. So like that everyone want to know this liberty in matters which don't touch anybody else liberty. Of course, I may be as free I like. So if sometimes in some matters, if somebody is not going to involve in any other's liberty, I may be a free as like. It means if you are not going to involve others' liberty, you always be free. You are doing or whatever you do, like that you can be do your work with freely. If you are going to involve with others' liberty, definitely you will be struggle in after every end of your work. If I choose to go down the road in a dressing gown, who shall say me nay? Nay is nothing. No. If you are going to, if, for your wish, if you, in case you are going to choose, you want to go in the road without dress, means no one is going to say don't go like that, because this is your liberty. So you can use your liberty. You have liberty to laugh at me, and also you have the liberty, you can laugh and criticize to everyone, but I have liberty to be indifferent to you. And also don't be interfere with others. So indifferent to you means don't too unconcerned with others. So you, everyone has a personal liberty, so the personal liberty should be used to yourself, don't be disturbed to others, like that given here. And if I have a fancy for dyeing my hair or waxing my mustache or wearing an overcoat and sandals, or going to bed late or getting up early, I shall follow my fancy and ask no man's permission. So here give some examples. If anybody, if you are going, if you are going to dye your hair, means this for your wish. No, you can't, you can go to ask permission to any others, because this for your wish. You can do your whatever you think, like waxing my mustache. Waxing is nothing, remove your mustache. Mustache is nothing, we call in Tamil meesai. Or wearing an overcoat and sandals. Normally while you are wearing the overcoat, that time the shoe is there add to wearing the overcoat, but sometime indifferently you are going to use sandals means this is for your wish, your liberty, you can use yourself. So in the time you don't going to ask to permission to any other person, or going to bed late. So if you are going to the bed for late time, it's also for your own wish, for your desire. Or getting up early in the morning also, you are going to get early means this for your wish, don't get permission to others, this for your own liberty. I shall follow my fancy and ask no man's permission. So in this matter like that, while going to dyeing your hair or waxing moustache or wearing an overcoat and sandals or going to bed late on or getting up early, this for your wish. Don't you, so in this matter you don't going to get permission to others. I shall not inquire of you whether I may eat mustard with my mutton. So, and also given one more example, if you are going to eat mutton with mustard, mustard is nothing we call in Tamil kadugu. So, if you are like to eat the mutton with mustard means this for your wish. So, in that case, don't ask permission to any other person. This is your own liberty, and you will not ask me whether you may follow this religion or that. And also, you can follow. You not get permission to any other person. Can I use this religion or other religion? Whether you may prepare Ella Vella blacks to Wordsworth or champion to Shandy. So the following the religion also for your own wish. In that matter you can't able to ask, you can't going to ask any other permission because it's your own liberty. And also if you are going to read the good authors works means, whether you can use Wordsworth or Shakespeare, any other person. So in that matter, you can't get permission to any other persons. Or champion to Sandy. Sandy is nothing drink, the mixed drink. So you can use the drink also for your own wish. In all this and a thousand other details, you and I please ourselves and as no one's lives leave. So in that matter like that matter there are thousands of details, you can use your own liberty. You're not going to get permission to others. So get you can involve these kind of things for your own liberty. No one going to ask any permission in these matters. We have a whole kingdom in which we rule alone, can do what we choose, be wise or ridiculous, ours or easy, conventional or odd. And also you have your own kingdom. Own kingdom is nothing, you have a separate kingdom. This here what the author mentioned here means you have a kingdom. It means you have a for home, you have some place for called the kingdom, in which the time in that place you can rule alone. You can whatever you think you can rule that place because you have some surroundings for in your control. It's called the kingdom. Can do what we choose in that surroundings. You can choose what we are going to do. Be a wise. Wise is nothing. You can do in that place like Buddhisali or ridiculous. Ridiculous is nothing. Or comedy person. You can do your work with the hours or easily and also conventional, or you are doing with your normal. It's for your own wish. So in that moment without in that place you can do whatever you think. But when we step out of the kingdom, our personal liberty of action becomes qualified by other people's liberty. While you came out of their kingdom, you want to be use the liberty with the social, you want to think the social liberty also, because every person are going to qualify your liberty. So while you are in a kingdom at that moment you can use whatever you think, but you came out of that kingdom, you want to be think your the liberty with the other persons, other people's liberty also. I might like to practice on the trombone from midnight till 3 in the morning. If you are going to like to play the trombone is nothing, it's a musical instrument. From midnight to till 3 in the morning, if I went onto the top of the Everest to do it, I could please myself. But if I do it in my bedroom, my family will object. And if I do it out in the street, the neighbors will remind me that my liberty to blow the trombone must not interfere with their liberty to sleep in quiet. So now here given one more example. If you are going to play the trombone still the midnight to still in the 3 o'clock in the morning, this for your own liberty. This is not going to get permission to anyone, this is not affected to anyone. And also if you are going, if you are wish to play in the trombone in the Everest, you can do this for your own wish. I could please myself, because here this for your wish, you can do whatever you think, but this is your own liberty, but don't disturb to others. But if I do it in my bedroom, in case if you are going to play in your bedroom means definitely the family member will be oppose your wish, because they are disturbing at that moment. If I do it out in the street, if out of the bedroom, if you are going to play in the street means definitely the neighbor will affected at that moment. So definitely they are going to involve in your liberty, and also they simply told they want to quiet at that moment, they are going to sleep at night time, so don't disturb to others, like that given here. There are a lot of people in the world, and I have to accommodate my liberty to their liberties. But not only their liberties, so there are a lot of people in the world. So here the author mentioned every person in the world, and he also have to accommodate. Accommodate is nothing, fit up with their liberty, his own liberty to their liberty, because everyone have the liberty. So we want to use the liberty with their liberty, with their freedom. How much freedom they given you, you want to use the freedom with fit with you in for every individual. We are all liable to forget this, and unfortunately, we are much more conscious of the imperfection of others in their respect than of our own. So, in that case, for every person are going to forget their what they are going to do. So, how they are going to interfere with the others person. We want to respect to others. When you are going to respect to others, is not here given. When you are going to respect is nothing. When you are going to give the liberty to others, then only you can identify your own liberty, like that given here. A reasonable consideration for the rights or feelings of others is the foundation of social contact. So, a reasonable, when you are going to consider others rights is nothing, when you are going to public's liberty and also their rights and also their feelings of others, this is the foundation, this is the basic things you are going to give the social context. This is a basic thing, it's called the foundation. So then only you can use your liberty with limited. It is in the small matters of the contact, in the observance of the rules of the road, that we pass judgment upon ourselves and declare that we are a civilized or uncivilized. So this is actually is a small matter. While crossing the road, we want to use the some rules in the road. This is a very small matter, but in that we want to observe of the all of the road, all the rules of the road. What are the rules we want to be followed while we are walking in the road or while we are journeying in the road. That was the judgment. This is the main thing. You are going to judge yourself for every person, and they declare that we are a civilized or uncivilized. Civilized is nothing, Nagarigam or Nagarigamatravargal, like that. The great moments of the heroism and the sacrifice are rare. Actually, nowadays the great moment of heroism and sacrifice are going to very rare. It is a little habits of commonplace intercourse that make of the great sum of life and sweeten our make bitter the journey. And also is a small habit, but in the common place we are going to involve in that place. How you are going to use the your liberty is called the, this is the life your future generation also, it will be making your future generation with a sweeten, or is the journey are going to the better bitter the journey. This for every individual person having in your hand. So we must be use your liberty with curtailment. Curtailment is nothing, reducely. You want to be you want to think others public also, and also use your liberty with your own freedom. These are given in the main theme in the lesson. Thank you, student.